J Squad.
I guess as an early Christmas present to myself, I ended up buying the Bachmann Busy Bee James. Yes, I know it's not the most loved by the community, but hey, if you ask me, the Green Controller was a slept-on episode. That and James has always been my favorite characters, so to see a rendition of him that's different from his, usual red self was not only something that stuck out to me as a kid, but also was something that stuck with me, as I have a lot of memories of playing with the original Trackmaster one when it came out. So when Bachmann decided to make a model of their own, I figured I would have a crack at it as well. Of course, it comes in Bachmann's fancy new packaging, of course both on the front as well as the back, and something that I happened to find strange when looking at the back of the box was the fact that they're using their same old boring catalog. You'd think that they would show pictures of their newer models like the Origins Thomas, however they decided just to list them at the bottom and give us the same pictures that we've been looking at for years. Not a huge deal, but come on guys, marketing. The packaging doesn't really matter though. What I was excited to see was what was inside of it, and even more so what I could do to make it better. Let's start off with looking at James himself. Unfortunately, they decided to give him his standard and strange smiley face. That looks nothing like how James's face actually looks. Bachmann's not known for nailing the faces though. Putting that aside though, this James actually happens to solve problems that the standard James still has. Most notably being that the smoke box is actually painted on this model. However, besides those features, this James is pretty stock standard, save for his Bumblebee paint job, which honestly to my surprise was very well painted on my model. The only issue that I could really find is that his wheels are still a light gray rather than a black. However, again, I could just be nitpicking. Now with James himself out of the way, let's talk about the tender that he comes with. Again, also Bumblebee painted, of course. Much like James himself, the tender is pretty standard. Save for the paint job, nothing looks really special. Then again, it's not really supposed to. And just like the normal Bachmann James, there is no back lamp, meaning yet again I'll have to import one. Altogether, I really do enjoy this James, but I'd be lying to you if I told you he was perfect. Personally, I think he's a little too shiny, and he's missing some key details that he's gonna need to fit amongst my fleet. Let's start off with masking him up and applying some matte clear. That should really help to dull out those bright colors. It would be at this point that I would go back to consult my reference pictures, mostly trying to figure out how to weather James, as well as come down on a face that I should go with. However, I wasn't able to find an angry or sad face that would arrive within a month, so I ended up just rolling with a standard Trackmaster one. I know it's CGI and all, but it fits the model a lot more than this does. Overall, weathering James would be pretty simple. I would follow all of the straight yellow edges with some black weathering powder, not only to get the shape to pop more, but also to make him actually look busy. The same will be done to his tinder, although I tried to be a little heavier around the top. This is where his coal goes after all. After this, of course, James was fitted with a proper back lamp. I'm not gonna complain about it and not fix it. I would then use some more black weathering powder to slightly discolor James's running board, and after another coat of matte clear, the model was complete. Personally, I'm happy at the fact that Bachmann decided to come out with their own rendition of the Busy Bee James. I know a lot of people would end up being disappointed at the announcement of it, but like I said, Busy Bee James was something that stuck out to me when I was a kid, and to now properly model it was fun to say the least. I currently have plans to give James a proper crew and possibly an open cab, so if you're interested in seeing how those end up going if I end up doing it, be sure to follow me on Instagram or Patreon as I post model updates a lot more frequently on those. Thank you guys again for watching, and before you go, let's see this guy run on the HO scale layout. Thank you guys again for watching, and Merry Early Christmas, everybody.